I don't want to be afraid anymore. This video may be a little bit different than what you're used to receiving from me, but I just feel like we are at such a pivotal time, and there are so many internal shifts and collective shifts and new senses and awarenesses coming online that I think so many just feel like they're spinning. As I choose to lean in, as I choose to move through my own fear, I find myself recalibrating in a way that I'm not 100% used to. So we sat down to channel, and the messages were very shifting for me. I let a couple of days go by, and then I just started to release and purge all this density. Past life information from Atlantis, moments where I came into myself in different realities and was rejected for my authenticity. Specifically in Atlantis, I lived a life where, as a high priestess, I was taken over and killed for speaking my truth. And what I find myself doing right now is I stepped through the fear and started to put my face on these channels, which has been such a huge thing for me. It's like this whole new level of vulnerability and openness. And I'm trying really hard not to protect my heart here. When the energy comes in after I create a video or a channel lately, I get this rush of angst. It literally feels like I'm about to be crucified for speaking my truth. I know we're on the verge of some major things right now. None of us really know what to expect. I don't know 100% how to handle the energy that I'm processing through when it comes to these new channels, new ways of putting information out there. I've received a lot of beautiful messages and emails, and I feel your love so deeply. And so I decided, clearly still moving through this stuff, I decided that we were just gonna get through it together. I'm just leaning in. Soul fam, I'm showing up in these places, and sometimes it's a little scary for me too, but I just keep coming back to my connection, and I keep coming back to what's real, which is what I feel in my heart, which is New Earth. I haven't listened to these channels. I processed so much information during them, but I for some reason I'm a little nervous to go back and watch them and listen to them, and this fear of being seen for everything that I am, everything that you are. I think so many times, we put out these end results of our shifts, and I've talked about this before. It kind of negates the purpose of us going through this awakening together. So instead of being in my head about the channels, instead of just sitting here overthinking it, digging my heels in instead of surrendering, I'm just gonna let it be. The information here is both for me and the collective, but at the same time, I think that we all learn from each other. And so there really is no reason to not share what I'm experiencing. I know there's a lot of creators out there that are connected to their God force, that are bringing in innovation and new movements and new ideas and new energies. And I know they come into moments of doubt too. So when I get into that space, when I feel cloudy, when I feel uncertain, when I feel fear, I go straight to source. I go straight to the guides. I go straight to my higher self. Sometimes I just cry with them. You'll hear that today. I wish sometimes that I was fully in my balance and I didn't have all of these strong moments of integration where posting some of the channels and information that comes through just feels a little too vulnerable and a little too intense. But I just don't want to be afraid anymore. There's so many of you that have been here since the beginning, that have watched me grow, watched this channel transform, watched this information transform, watched me transform. And I love all of you so much. I love your emails. I love your camaraderie. And so I just think it's a great time to share. This isn't going to be a normal video. This is going to be a couple of channels, shorter channels, intertwined here. Thank you for supporting me. There isn't one day that I don't feel your love. Thank you. We will leave a few messages here before we begin. The intensity crystal is feeling is the embodiment of the higher self and the deepening of the connection as us as her guidance system now. She does not communicate with Auxil in the way that she thinks that she does. She communicates with the memory of Auxil. She is in complete contact with the consciousness of the collective that her ship maintains. Crystal is feeling confusion. We are going to have her relax for a moment. She has embedded consciousness in this ship, and she doesn't remember. But that, along with the council's guidance, is what will be leading her now. Yes, darling, you are Auxil. The intensity she receives while setting up technology is not something she is making up in her mind. We are giving her the acknowledgement now, and for you as well, that these technologies hold another amplitude to our ability to fill you with light. While the Matrix would tell you to fear the electricity on your planet, the new Earth would let you know that this is a gateway of energy that is able to be received by the human, that we can tap into in ways that we cannot in others. Your planet is not structured for the high amounts of energy that we are able to bring in, yet your electrical systems allow us to tune into you in ways that without the electrical system we cannot. Yet your new electrical system will allow not only for the total embodiment of the higher self, but the total embodiment of the universal complex that exists within the God Force fractal that you have took on. Continue to set up your technologies. Continue to understand them deeply. This will open up within you the understandings of your ship and the way you communicate with it, the way you receive and give us information in ways you've never even imagined. Teresa, do you think we just let you sit down and watch TV at night? It is an exchange of energy that can be amplified in ways that we can't necessarily connect to you in without giving you a shock of sorts. And so when we tune into you through the frequencies in which you are familiar, we can all move forward in a beautiful and delicious way. So know, Crystal, that the intensities you are feeling are not of the mind, as we have been instructing you. And it is fine that you cannot place words to the energy that you are trying to interpret at this time. There are not many words to the new dimensional energies that you will be embodying now. And that is what we would like to speak with the collective about today. The energy on your planet has shifted. You can no longer deny the new earth that exists coincidingly with the timeline of awakening. The Lightworkers on your planet are having very strong bodily symptoms, very strong emotional reactions. As the energy heightens and the shadow matrix within their consciousness falls apart, Crystal believes that there are moments where the matrix is glitching and she sees into other realities with a clarity that she cannot yet explain. This is not a glitch in the matrix. This is a relinquishing of the shadow matrix that exists in your consciousness. And without you believing that this matrix still exists, you would no longer interact with it. And so the energy that the Lightworkers are pulling in and feeling as discord, we will remind you, it is your calling. It is the new earth energies that you have grounded into this planetary grid, calling you into the higher realms of understanding and receiving that you have been asking for. And there has never been a better time than right now, Lightworker, for you to dive in, recharge, explore. If Crystal had never heard of the term glitch in the matrix, when she saw the crystalline light energy coming through her peripheral, would she have questioned it in the way that she did? Is the energy high? Is this a new opening? She would have received it and said, is there more for me here? And this is why we continually guide people out of, taking your spiritual awarenesses into the third dimension to understand them. Because if she sat with the energy that was coming forward, it would have identified itself to her as the new earth that is very present, strongly breaking through your consciousness, breaking through your body's connection to the old earth, severing ties of density, and creating new pathways of consciousness that allow you to exist in a higher vibration and a higher receptive mode. Receiving the light. Receiving the light. All is well. Take your time. The activations of the body will intensify. Crystal, you must adjust. You asked to live in a higher vibrational realm, yet you are afraid to step into it. You are afraid to let go. We understand. We understand. Know that we are with you as you journey this new path. Know that as you let the light in, as you continue to let your third eye morph into this place of no longer wanting to be in this reality, as you let your heart drop walls that you didn't even know you had, as you let your consciousness raise into levels of joy and bliss that don't take into consideration other people's ability to go with you. You will be the visionary that you seek to be. The energy that's coming through your body is here to serve you. Sit with this energy and let it shift everything that you're becoming. The world doesn't need more of what is. The world needs what's next. Doug is in his mission. He doesn't know how powerful he is, but he is being guided by the light. And he will have all of the words to say when those sweet hearts need comfort and hope. Know that you are there grounding light for him. Know that you are bringing information into the grid beneath that church that lights up those three men. You have delivered them information many times before. There is no accident that you are all coming together. Your work there is done. They will remember you soon. They will begin to dream about you and seek you out, ask you questions that they don't dare ask God yet. Know that in every place that you move and in every breath you take, you carry the light of the God Force with you. If you only knew that you exist in the highest order of light, you would never again doubt your capability of tuning into all that is. And when once again you can deliver yourself from the dark on this planet, coming back into the light, you will remember with ease that it has always been done. Do you truly think the God force ever set out in creation to be destroyed by the duality of the God force? It was a divine experiment. And this is a timeline that you have come back to time and time again. You enjoy it. It gives you expansion. It gives you data, Teresa, that you never would be able to collect otherwise. So when you ask how we are expanding from the viewpoint of ascension that you hold now, please know that we are living the expanded timeline that you exist in at this time. We are existing in the furthest vibrational asset of this timeline that can exist. And we are expanding it on your behalf through the frequencies and deliciousness that you are choosing to entertain as you navigate this realm. It is not long from now. It is not long from now. Sweet children, when we tell you to hold the light, we mean your light. Not our light, not God's light, not Source's light. Your light. The Akashic memory of who you are. All of who you've ever been and who you ever will be. Pull it inside of you now. Experience the fullness of that sensation, even if you can only imagine it. It will put you in the proximity of receiving. Should you choose to receive New Earth, it is directly in front of you. We understand that dimensions are hard to comprehend, and your state on the other side of this veil. But we will tell you that there is a multitude of experiences happening on your planet right now. Many where fear and devastation do not exist. And you say, how is that so? And we can't wait to tell you. The stronger you focus on your perception of a reality, the stronger you pull it in. The Matrix was created on giving you information that was not aligned with your truth, but aligned with a narrative, a program, an illusion, a structure that should you follow, you, the human collective, would create a physical reality based on this story. And that's what's happened. And it is fine, and it is good, and it has served us all well. But that story ended. And there are beings on your planet that don't want you to know that that story is over. And they continue to bank on you being connected to a story that doesn't serve you or what you are doing in this timeline. It is your role, should you choose, to connect deeply into the light of who you are. Because there are those who are choosing to very deeply connect into this light and into this transformation, and they are pulling it so far into their awareness that their reality must shift. But there are those that do not go into their heart, and they stay in a state of confusion, believing what others are saying. This one says this. This one says this. What is true? Your truth is inside of you. Your truth is in your resonance. Your truth is in your vibration. Your truth is in the ignition of your third eye when you hear words that come through any messenger on your planet. But pay attention to how it lifts you. Pay attention to how the information calls you back into your power. It's okay if the information triggers you. Most times, that is the release of the resistance. And if you could just breathe and let it go, you would find your clarity. A trigger is a release, not a healing. Sure, there is an acknowledgement in that moment. And sure, you should consciously shift that acknowledgement, recognizing that you are no longer choosing that energy, path, circumstance, emotion, situation, engagement, cord. But you don't need to carry that energy in with you. Think of the third dimension as a trigger, just showing you all the places where you no longer resonate, where you've already shifted yourself into the new earth grid. Oh, sweet humans. Feel into the shift that is before you. Relinquish the anxiety of the unknown. Open your heart to the arms that await you. Coming into this galactic community is going to be very divine. There will be those in the beginning of the shift that will not choose to tune into this energy, and that is fine. They must ground their humanness. Not everybody on your planet is a light worker or star seed. There are humans on your planet that will ascend, that have never existed outside of the earthly realm, that have lived lifetime after lifetime collecting the karma of creation that happens in a dualistic reality. There are many that will join you. There are many that will leave. And all of it is divine. Don't worry about who's coming and who's going. If you see them fighting for their life in any way, surely they will join you. As you have been navigating two worlds, you've gotten used to bouncing back and forth. Third dimension into fourth dimension, settling into the fourth dimension, tuning higher into the fifth dimension, settling into the fifth dimension, tuning into the sixth dimension. Keep calling your collective through grounding your being. Keep standing in the light that you know that you are, because the shift that is upon you is going to cause you to ground in stability that you never even knew you had. It is very important for us to tell you that as the planetary shift begins, while we've said before there will be chaos, the light workers will be able to observe the chaos, not because of some special treatment, but because of their practice and their own stability, because of their awareness that the structures were going to fall, so they needed to find grounding in something new, like their heart. And when they chose that, they disconnected. So even as the matrix falls, and you watch your justice system, educational systems, monetary systems, housing systems collapse, this collective will be protected. You are not on your own. To think that we are just going to let these systems fall on you and that you must dig yourself out from this rubble is taking an awareness of a shift of a higher dimensional reality and pulling it into a third dimensional experience to attempt to have some sort of understanding. And in that you create fear, you create resistance. What if we asked you to trust? What if we asked you to trust yourself? That you were smart enough before you came into this planetary realm to make sure that there were councils and orders in place, to rise like a phoenix out of the ashes as these systems fell apart, so that even while the collective mind was in chaos, they saw a new dawn breaking through. There was still hope there should they choose. Lightworkers, don't be silly. You do not stand outside of the veil with your human brains, putting together a very human path of how you are navigating your way out of a very human space. You are a divine being. You are pure God force. You came with pure intention to utilize the collective needs through the information that you have gathered and pull together pieces of a society that can be sustained in the birthright of the human, the way it was always meant to be. Trust yourself. You are not these humans navigating a pandemic. You are not humans navigating your bodily rights. You are not humans navigating sovereignty. You are God, bringing God back to this planet. You are the expression of light that brings in possibility for a connection that is deeper than anything anybody on this planet has ever known. You are who you have been waiting for. You are who we have been waiting for. You are majestic, universal creators. You have created this new earth grid, and now you are the projectors of it. You must heighten your frequency so that you can project the world that you came here to live in. And know that you've never once walked this path alone. You divinely opened your heart to the communication of Source, just as you knew you had the capability to. The light will inherit the earth. Great times are upon you. It's not important that you know who you are. It is important that you remember the familiarity of that God force within you. When you breathe, when you speak, when you feel your body move. As the systems continue to loosen their grip and fall, remember that you are the pillar of lights that stand in their place, so that what is next can come in. Continue to disconnect from the personality. Integrate the heightened consciousness that you are asking to receive. In doing so, you relinquish being and thinking so close to the human dynamic. You allow the unknown to move in, and you are not afraid to explore. As you walk with God, as you embody the light of Source, as you move through this world as the creator that you are. That was a good catch. We saw it coming too. The times have shifted, and what your body needs is no longer what it needed just days ago. Where you once needed grounding, crystal, you now need connection. Continue to allow in the flow of the universe. Do exactly as you're doing, connecting for you, allowing your creator energy to be the catalyst of your business, not worrying about monetary value as you pull yourself out of the grid. Allow light to serve you. And soon, your abundance frequency will be so full because you'll know that you're receiving it from the new earth and not the darkness. You don't need money, Teresa. Stay in your connection. Think of this fall like a game. Nothing's real, and everything's falling apart. But inside you, the joke's on them because everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. We want you to let go. We want you both to let go. We want you both to release the fear of trusting yourself to navigate what is next. Listen to the message we just gave you over and over. And do not think for 1 second that you did not set this up for yourself to succeed. Do not think for 1 second that you did not set this up for you to feel safe. For you to remember. For you to stand back from the outside and giggle at the man running on the treadmill. Build your life off grid. That is the direction. Self-sustaining in energy. Self-sustaining in abundance. Self-sustaining in consumption. Not getting to Z today, but continually moving from A to B and living the new world, the new life, the new energy, just as you have chosen to. We don't know how to put this into human words, Crystal, but please let the new earth deliver itself to you. Please, sister. You are at a fork in the road. We need you now more than ever. We need you as a bridge, conduit of energy. Sure, be a messenger. But for us, right now, we need you to plug yourself into the ship every day. We need you to receive the heightened energies so you can begin to communicate the concepts that will be coming through. Many things we cannot discuss with the collective. Time is not what you think. You are not born. You wake up in this reality. You literally open your eyes in this reality. Are there those who choose to come in as children? Sure. Do they age? No. There's just a timeline that they exit in, go back to source, and come back as adults, imprinting on you and their co-creation however they choose. Crystal, you cannot mere jump into the fifth dimension. When you chose to come in, you chose the ascension. There's nothing you can do to bypass it. You've placed yourself on the timeline closest to the shift, and now you must have your experience. The only reason it feels bad is because you are continually connecting into the matrix world. And we understand that there is fear surrounding what happens when you get weirder. We are not afraid for you. We are having conversations in her mind, and she is giggling at us and telling us to stop, so we'll say it out loud. She's going back and forth between grounding and receiving information, grounding and receiving information, grounding and receiving information. And we are telling her to knock that shit off. You want to exit this reality, exit this reality. What are you waiting for? You think we're joking. We are not joking with you. You don't think you could live in the fifth dimension? Right here and right now? Prove it. Prove it to us. Show us you cannot. That's right, little sister. Sit down, shut up, and get into the higher realms with us. It's a good thing this part won't be in the recording. They would find us quite abusive at times, but they don't understand the energy she feels when we play with her. She doesn't even listen to us half the time. And then she'll giggle when she listens back. But right now, she has fairies and butterflies and sunflowers in the meadow. She's basking in the sun of the great central sun, rejuvenating her body, feeling more at ease than she has in weeks. And she doesn't understand why we want her just to stay there. We don't know how to put this into words, but we are going to do the best that we can. The new earth is present. The timelines are existing together right now. You bob back and forth based on your belief systems that are based on your ability to hold worthiness. Shift that now. Stop waiting. You are not healing. You've been activating for a long time. Drop the victimhood. Let it go. Come into who you are. See yourself as divine. And in the moments that you feel your vibration dipping, when it's coming to the ability to bring in the love of source, then you go into the mirror and you funnel it in. You think affirmations in the mirror are just you speaking to a mirror? It's a portal of energy that allows you to receive you from a higher dimension. Do it. Go. Shift. We're ready. We're here. It is so weird to us that the collective is continually saying we want new earth, and then they stay in the old earth. It is so weird to us. I'll calm down. Crystal hasn't experienced me before. I'm young Auxil. I have a lot of energy. We just shifted. And I want her out of there. I want both of you out of there. It's not doing any of us any good. There is no more experience to be gathered from the darkness. You've chosen the light. Now choose your expansion and let us in. Stay in the higher realms. What are you grounding for? The only grounding you needed was the grounding of the light, and we told you that you've put that into the grid. And now we're asking you to receive the grid, and you're still grounding, and we're very confused, and nothing feels good in your body because of it. You're throwing your energy out of whack by going against yourself. And this is why we wanted you to allow yourself to be new in every moment, because right now you're not allowing yourself to change. It feels good to get that out. You can visualize me as the 17-year-old version of myself after the event, even though That is far from who I am. It's just energetically a good representation of my excitement, eagerness, vitality. I feel so fresh. I calm down a lot as I continue to expand. But in my early days, this energy is so much fun. Ew. And every single time I tune into you, it's like gunk. Ew. That's all I want to tell you. Ew. Gosh, can you smell the trees through me? Just do it. Tune in, Crystal. Isn't that silly? You can't even smell. Try harder. Just do it. Let go. There you go. Now that's smell-o-vision. She is smelling and seeing at the same time. It is fall, pine, and a summer breeze from her home up north. And by her home up north, we mean the actual physical realm she lived in while she was in the Pleiades. Expand yourself outside of what you think you can perceive in this moment, Crystal. Let the old world fall away. Nothing about it is serving you. You don't need to ground anything. Even if you fly off the planet, you'll come back. You wouldn't leave Teresa here for 1 second. But that doesn't mean you need to play in the grounded realities. Be the visionary. Be the one who tunes into the real new earth, the full new earth, and continues to bring that information into the grid beneath you by experiencing it and living it. Imagine what Doug would deliver to the people. Imagine what the other communicators would deliver to the people. There is a very strong galactic presence coming in, ready to ask you questions and get your insight about how to guide their humans through this shift. You will communicate with them sometimes. They will all go through us, the council, before they are able to be in contact with you at all. This will be a very strange dynamic for you to coach, and you will do wonderfully well. Stranger things will come. Sure, we will come back and we will tell you we are complete.
Come back from the fairies.
Clomidel and I would like to briefly remind you both that it is still never about them. Not for 1 minute. Not one breath. Not one message is made just for them. And never should you ever sit with the intention of doing any of this for them. The lighting, the scene, the volume level. This is your creation. You do the things that you do because you like the creation output that happens on the other side. Remember, in the new earth, words are very powerful as they are vibration only. Watch the vibrations you allow to be emitted through the throat chakra as you relinquish the shadow matrix within that meridian. Today was divine validation. Crystal that we are one. There is no separation. We've done it. I am your Archangel Michael. My consciousness here as Auxil will protect you from any beings that are not meant to be in your vicinity. There are many connections around you that are not here for you. They are here for them. And when you stay in your connection with us, your guidance, you do not need external friendship. Do not judge yourself because nothing feels good in that arena at this time. It is divinely showing you that no matter how hard you try, you're not like the others. You'll never be like the others. This is not good or bad, it's an identification of experience through how these energies and you are choosing to be represented in this life. And not too long of a time from now, you will choose me in such fullness. And I am okay with you grounding and getting comfortable here. I am okay giving you the support that you need to feel my steadiness. To remember that together we can do anything. And we have. Our rope is long. I love you, sweet self. I love you so much. Stay in your connection. Remember your goddess. You are opening. And it is a beautiful thing to watch. And yes, there will be a day when you will not cry. When you will be able to receive our love with such a strong knowing that there will be no variance between our words and the way that you feel about yourself. And then you will not cry. go live in New Earth.